The average British family throws away around $700 worth of food every single year, $700 quietly slipping into the bin without anyone really noticing. Week after week, small amounts of waste build up into a huge loss. But older generations lived very differently. They wasted almost nothing, not because they had better appliances or expensive storage systems, but because they followed simple habits that made every ingredient count. There are 25 of these forgotten tricks, and together they completely change how food is used, stored, and saved. One of them alone can save over $40 a month just on bread. Another turns a simple 90p tin into something that tastes like a $14 restaurant dish. And one trick is so effective that supermarkets actually change their packaging to stop people from doing it. These methods are not complicated. They do not require special tools or fancy equipment. But once they become part of your routine, they completely change how your freezer works, how you shop, and how much money you keep instead of throwing away. Every time food goes in the bin, money goes with it. These habits stop that cycle and turn your freezer into something far more powerful than just storage. Freezing milk in ice cube trays is one of the easiest changes to start with. Instead of watching milk go off in the fridge, it gets poured into trays and frozen into small portions. Each cube is the perfect size for tea, coffee, porridge, or sauces. Over time, even saving a small amount regularly adds up to real savings, and once used, there is no noticeable difference in taste at all. Butter taken straight from the freezer can be grated into fine strips that mix perfectly into flour. This creates lighter, flakier pastries and removes the struggle of working with soft or melting butter. It is a simple trick that produces professional results without any extra effort, even on warm days when baking usually becomes difficult. Fresh herbs often go bad within a few days, turning into a slimy mess in the fridge. Freezing them in olive oil completely solves that problem. Once chopped and frozen, each portion becomes a ready-made flavor boost that can go straight into a hot pan. Instead of wasting herbs every week, they stay fresh and usable for much longer. Bread lasts significantly longer when sliced before freezing. Adding small sheets of paper between slices allows you to remove exactly what you need without defrosting the entire loaf. Toasting straight from frozen works perfectly, and sandwich bread defrosts quickly. The simple step eliminates one of the most common sources of food waste in most households. Bananas that turn brown are often thrown away, but they are actually at their best for freezing. Peeling them first and storing them in the freezer allows them to last for months. The texture becomes softer and sweeter, making them perfect for baking and smoothies. Something that looked like waste becomes even more useful than before. Leftover wine can be poured into ice cube trays and frozen instead of being wasted. Each small portion can then be used to add depth to cooking. Whether it is a sauce, stew, or pasta dish, a small amount of wine can transform the flavor without opening a new bottle. Cheese can be frozen successfully when grated first. Stored in freezer bags, it can be used straight from frozen and melts perfectly in cooking. This prevents it from drying out or being forgotten in the fridge, saving both food and money. Mince stored flat instead of in thick blocks makes a huge difference. Flattening it in freezer bags allows it to defrost quickly and evenly. This means meals can be prepared faster without needing to plan hours in advance, and it also saves valuable freezer space. A major mistake many people make is treating the freezer like a dumping space. Food gets buried, forgotten, and eventually thrown away. Taking time to organize, label, and sort everything ensures nothing goes to waste. Even a short monthly check can save a surprising amount of money. Freezing bread dough instead of baked bread opens up a completely different level of convenience. Preparing dough in advance and freezing portions means fresh bread can be baked anytime with minimal effort. The result is better flavor, better texture, and lower cost. Homemade curry paste frozen into small portions is far cheaper and more flavorful than store-bought versions. Making it in bulk saves money and gives you instant meal bases ready at any time. Leftover gravy should never be wasted. Freezing it in portions allows it to be reused easily, bringing rich flavor back into everyday meals. What would have been thrown away becomes something valuable again. Preparing smoothie bags in advance makes mornings faster and prevents fruit from going bad. Everything is portioned and ready to blend, saving both time and money. Egg whites and yolks can be frozen separately instead of being discarded when only one part is needed. This ensures every egg is fully used instead of partially wasted. Freezing fruits and vegetables individually before storing them keeps them from sticking together. This allows you to use exactly what you need while keeping the rest fresh and separate. Supermarkets rely on waste to increase sales. The more food that gets thrown away, the more often people need to shop. Understanding this changes how you buy and store food, giving you more control over your spending. Cooked rice can be cooled, portioned, and frozen safely. Reheating it properly provides quick and easy meals without starting from scratch every time. Homemade sauces frozen in portions are cheaper and far better than store-bought jars. Making them in bulk saves money while improving the quality of meals. Stale bread can be turned into breadcrumbs instead of being thrown away. Stored in the freezer, They become a versatile ingredient used in many dishes. Tomato paste can be frozen in small portions, preventing the rest from spoiling. Each portion is ready to use, making cooking more efficient and reducing waste. Homemade stock made from leftovers adds depth to cooking without extra cost. Freezing it ensures it is always available when needed. Takeaway containers can be reused to store meals in the freezer. Batch cooking and freezing portions creates a supply of ready meals that are both cheaper and better than store-bought options. Following a simple system where something is taken out every time something goes in keeps the freezer organized and prevents food from being forgotten. Cream can be whipped and frozen in portions, allowing it to last longer and be used when needed. This prevents it from spoiling after opening. Ginger and garlic can be frozen whole and used directly, keeping them fresh for much longer and eliminating waste. Buying discounted meat and freezing it immediately is one of the most effective ways to reduce costs. Food near its sell-by date is still perfectly usable when frozen right away, allowing you to take advantage of lower prices. Batch cooking ties everything together. Preparing multiple meals at once and freezing portions reduces daily effort and prevents last-minute spending. Keeping track of what is in the freezer ensures nothing gets wasted. Knowing exactly what you have makes planning meals easier and stops duplicate purchases. Even using a few of these methods creates noticeable savings. Over time, they become habits that completely change how food is managed. The freezer becomes more than just a place to store food. It becomes a system that protects both your meals and your money. Consistency is what makes the real difference. Small changes repeated every week lead to significant results over time. What once seemed like minor waste becomes something completely controlled. The kitchen becomes more efficient, less stressful, and far less expensive to run. Choosing just a few of these techniques to start with can create immediate impact. Once the benefits are clear, adding more becomes natural. The transformation builds step by step, and the savings continue to grow. A properly used freezer is not just a convenience. It is a powerful tool that changes how food is valued and used. It turns waste into savings and ensures that every purchase goes further than before.